Full disclosure, today I'm here to talk about the ulterior motive to my channel. The ulterior motive here being unity, okay? Because united we stand and divided we fall. I mean, that sentiment may go back as far as at least Aesop's fable in ancient Greece about the four oxen and the lion. But I would venture a guess or posit that maybe it goes back way, way further. I mean, whether we're united against prehistoric predators or prey or the elements or oligarchs who are trying to destroy our planet for money and power and their ego, um, united we stand or divided we fall. And that sentiment is more, oh, I knocked off my thingy. I hope you can still hear me. I'm just going to keep going and see what happens. So that sentiment is more prescient now than ever, I believe, because really we're running out of time planet-wise, right? And everybody knows that we're getting to a boiling point, right? We've been frogs in a pot of slowly heating up water for a very long time, decades, right? But now I think that water is so hot that we're starting to figure it out. We're like, wait, I think we're in a pot. Are we in a pot? That might be what's happening. I'm just riffing, so we'll see what happens here. um, so I'm going to challenge you, anybody who might happen to see this video, maybe, if anyone sees this video, I'm going to challenge anyone maybe who might see this video, to look within yourself and think about how you feel about 6 certain issues. Now, please don't think about your political party or, how you vote or what your friends or family might think, or even what somebody might think of you for feeling that way, right? No judgment whatsoever. Nobody's judging you at all. I am a judgment-free zone, just so you know. I try to be as much as humanly possible. So I'm going to write down six thingies on my whiteboard, and I want to see how you feel about them. Please, please, if you want to, if you feel like it, please comment and let me know how you feel about these things, because I really do care. Like, I really care. I would love to know how you feel about any and all of these 6 things. Maybe you only want to talk about one, maybe you have feelings on all of them, whatever, just speak your heart. So, no judgment. So the first thing on the list, now I didn't make up this list myself. It will look familiar to some, but I'm not going to give it away. So this list, number 1 on the list, I am going to say, now I want to know how you feel about this as an issue or an agenda or a topic in American politics today. Okay. All right. So first thing is no more wars. Okay. So I'd like to know how you feel about that. Okay. I feel like that's a little self-explanatory of an issue. War is war. We all know about war. War. Okay. So number two, I'm going to say is going to be, obviously we would be saving trillions of dollars without all the war. Okay. Right. Dollars and lives. Right. So, paid family leave. Okay. I mean, how many journalists have to write articles waxing philosophical about, oh, why don't people have families these days? Why aren't younger people breeding? Well, nobody can afford to have kids. Like, maybe you make like 6 figures and you're comfortable, but you're not everybody. So most people understand that paid family leave is necessary. And I think even now, a lot of the people that didn't like that, I have a feeling a lot of people that didn't like that now might like it because they have kids who can't afford to have families, right? Because they want grandkids. I mean, I have kids and I'm already, now I'm not in a hurry to have grandkids, right? Grow up first, but I'm already looking forward to being a grandma. So I'm sure there's probably a lot of people out there who maybe didn't think paid family leave was necessary, but now their kids can't afford to have families and they realize, oh wait, maybe paid family leave is important. So, okay. Number 2, paid family leave. Please tell me how you feel about that. I would love to know. Number 3, I'm going to say get money. Now that's like big money. I'm not talking about like your $20 Act Blue or whatever red, you know, whatever. I'm not talking about your little $5 to $20 donations or even $150 or $250 donations. I'm not talking about any of the pre-checked donations. I'm talking about big money. Get big money out of politics, okay? Because good average Joe Schmoes and Jane Schmanes should not have to be exorbitantly wealthy or get tons of money from a who knows who in order to tell their constituents what they want to do for them. Okay, so that seems pretty clear. Now, I have had conversations with people who know a lot about the economy, who teach about the economy, and who have said to me, you can't take money out of politics. And it just wouldn't work. You have to have the money to pay for all of the things that they need to pay for, their teams and their advertising and all that, right? But here's my rebuke to that, or whatever, rebuttal to that. So these big giant media companies that have all their monopolies and their channels, like there's so many, like Time Warner, like so many have disappeared. I don't even know what they're called anymore, the big ones. So the big media companies, they can afford to, and here's the thing, that's not anti-capitalist in my opinion. Sorry, I just rubbed my, that's not anti-capitalist. So here's the thing, if it's advertising for a person who is trying to represent their constituents, and that is by default something to better humanity and society and a country as a whole. Okay, so I don't know how they want to figure it out, whether the media companies give free advertising or there's some government, there's some taxpayer part of the budget that pays for whatever races. Like, I don't know. There are people much smarter than me who can figure out how to take money out of the politics. People should not have to, politicians should not have to spend most of their hours in the office calling people and asking for money. They should be working on the bills and the legislation to better our lives, okay? So it shouldn't all just be them calling for money while some people, some lobbyists write legislation. No, the legislators need to be crafting the legislation. Thank you. That seems obvious. So, anywho, get money out of politics. Please tell me how you feel about these. I would love to know. You have no idea how much I would love to know. So, number four, I'm going to say negotiate all. Now, all, I say all because I am not talking about, I am not talking about drugs that are about to have a patent expire. No, that's ridiculous. That is just lip service. Thank you very much. Americans are not stupid. Okay, thanks. Negotiate all drug prices, okay, so that our taxpayer dollars are not going to the drug companies so that we can pay 20 times or 100 times or whatever times the amount that other countries pay, right? They shouldn't just be able to say, oh, you have tons of taxpayer money, we'll take this much, even though we don't charge anybody else that much. No, ridiculous. Our representatives who represent us, should totally get to negotiate, on behalf of us, for how much we pay for the drugs that go to, anyway. Five. Five, I'm going to say, is higher wages, okay? Higher, higher wages. So what's the minimum wage? Like $7.25 or whatever? And I saw that, like, even if some places are, like so many places are paying $15 an hour because $15 an hour was the proposed minimum wage X number of years ago. And $15 an hour still doesn't even cut it nowadays. So really, we need people who are really good at math and really good at the economy and who are really ethical people who represent their constituents, right? Which is what they're supposed to do. We need those people to figure out a way to get the people higher wages because there are too many people living in poverty and near poverty and people that live paycheck to paycheck and nobody can afford anything. It's pretty obvious, right? So I'm not going to assume that I know anything about you or your situation or how you feel about one or all of these things, but I would really, really love to hear about it. To be honest, I really, really would. So 6, and I read every single comment because like I don't get many. Like, so I get a comment and I'm like, woohoo, who's this? Please be nice. Thank you. Number 6, I'm going to say ban private equity. Now, private equity is all these dudes that come in their suits and they're like, hey, we're going to buy up this whole neighborhood of houses, this whole neighborhood of single family houses, and we're going to, like, you know, jack up the prices, or we're going to rent them out or turn them into condos or whatever. Ban private equity from buying up the housing market, because buying up all the homes, because what happens is, yes, people who have equity in their homes love when the price of homes go up. Obviously, people don't want to lose equity in their homes, okay? But here's the thing. The price, it's out of control. Even if the going rate for your house has now increased so much that nobody can afford to buy it, that doesn't really help you sell it either, right? Until a private equity firm comes in and pays cash, which is just sad because these homes should be going to families. There's my timer. So look at that. Cool. I was like, I don't want to talk too long, and I think I might already be talking too long. So I really want to know how you think about this. These are the 6 key components of the populist plank, by the way. Okay. There are people on both sides of the aisle who agree that all of these things are very important issues. And, here's the big one. Here's what I say. There's all kinds of other issues that everybody cares about, right? Tons of issues that everybody cares about. But here's the thing. If just this happens, get money out of politics, okay? I'm going to star that. If that happens, then our representatives can work for us. And they can talk about and debate about all of those issues. And they can be on the floor of the Senate and the House. They can be on the floor getting debated and talked about. But when they're only talked about in advertisements or social media blogs or whatever, if they're not talked about where they need to be talked about, they don't matter. Okay? They're just buzzwords and wedge issues to drive us apart. So what we need now more than ever is unity, okay? So please think about this and let me know how you feel, okay? And until next time, peace, guys.